We all set?
Yes, I'm set, Anupji. Thank you.
Okay. Swagatam. Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje. Ramena Bhiyata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Raman Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham. Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhutame Bhorama Mamuddhara. Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame. Sahasranamatattuliyam Rama Nama Varanane. Sri Rama Nama Varanana Onnama Iti. I guess we can do the Maheshwar Sutrani as well. So, Ayyan, Rulrak, Ayong, Ayauch, Hayavarat, Lan, Nyamanga, Nam, Javan, Garadash, Jabagadash, Kapa Cha 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 Tav, Kapai, Shashasar, Hal, Maheshwar Sutrani. Now, last time, I think we had finished with this verse. As I mentioned to you, if you want to keep it easy, you can always look at the translation and go from full stop to full stop. So, right, last time I think we did it up to here. This line about accompanied by Guha, Lakshmana, and Sita, sent away the charioteer back to Ayodhya. So we are here now at this place. We are finished the first line of the verse number 30. In the second line we are starting now. And where do you have to go up to look at the next full stop? Is we have to go up to here. The three sojourned happily sporting in the woods like gods and Gandharvas. So we have to come up to here. So we have to come up to this one. Nyavasan Sukham. We have to take from the middle of second half of number 30 to the first half of number 32. Says Sate vanena vanangatva dadi stirtva bahudakaha chitrakutam manuprapya bharadvajasya shasanat samyam avasatam kritva ramamana vane trayaha devagandharva sankasha tatrate nyavasan sukham. That's what we have to go up to there. One more time. Te vanena vanangatva nadi stirtva bahudakaha chitrakutam manuprapya bharadvajasya shasanat ramyam avasatam kritva ramamana vane trayaha devagandharva sankasha tatrate nyavasan sukham. Okay. Now why do we take all these two verses together? Because we need a verb to make the sentence. Ekating vakyam. If you look at the first half shloka which you had, we only had the form gatva. Now gatva is a what we call in English a gerund. What Panini says it is the samanakartaka yoho purvakale. When you have a samanakarta doing two actions, then the prior action takes this pratyaktva. So when you see the pratyaktva, it gives you a good structure of the sentence. You ask the question, who is a samanakarta? And what is the second action? So here it is the Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita. They are the Samana Kartaraha. And then the Gatva is there. Then one more is coming here. Anuprapya, another gerund. And then is coming Krutva, a third one over here. And then finally is coming Nyavasan. So Nyavasan is the next Tingantam Padam. That is the verb. Until we got to Nyavasan, we had to keep on going to come. So that is why Gita Press takes the full stop after coming down to this. They sojourn happily. They are living. So that is the Nyavasan. Until you can get the verb, we could not stop. Because this only means that having gone, having reached, having made, and then finally come, they lived happily. So and that is why we had to go to this one. Now here actually one of the commentators, interestingly enough, see some of these commentators give more grammatical commentaries, some of them don't. As I said, the Panini Sutram is Samana Kartikayoho Purvakale, is a sutram by which this pratyaya tva comes in there. So if you have a karta doing two actions, and then the prior one will take the pratyaya tva. Now, does that mean that there should be only two actions? Can there be three or more actions? Because in here we have three of them. So, Vanam Gatva, Chitrakutam Anuprapya, then Avasatam Kritva. We have 3 of them. And then Yavasan Sukham. So even though that sutram says that it has to be only 2 kriyas, that they can also be more than 2 kriyas. So you can string them all together. So that Samana Kritaka Yoha Purvakala, which is 3.4.21 sutram, is very quickly, not going in any detail. But 3.4.21 says that if you have 2 actions, but doesn't mean only 2. You can also string them together. So that's just, and one of the commentators points that out, that this 3.4.21 sutram, this is Ramayanam, will not get so many, Vyakaranam comments. But once in a while, when something like this comes, which has been dealt with in the grammar text, they will point that. Samana Kritaka Yoho Purvakale. That's where the Pratyaktva comes here. And what has happened here, I'll just read it out very quickly, is that it says, Samana Kritaka Yoho Purvakale Ityatra Sutre Dvitvasya Avivakshitatvat. Dvitvasya Avivakshitatvat. Because Dvitvam is not that only should be only 2 actions. That is not the intent of Panini. There could be more. There could be 3, 4, 5 actions. You can keep on adding the Pratyaktva and building up these number of actions. So the commentator is telling us that the Dvitvasya Avivakshitatvat Aneka kriyasu api tva pratyaha sambhavati. Oh, so that's what he's telling us. So we have 3 kriyas here. We have krutva and then anuprapya. Okay, now one more small rule for you. Anuprapya. This is also the pratyaktva, which has become ya. When does that happen? When you have a compound. When you have a compound formation, then the tva becomes lyap. The compound means what? That when you have the when mainly upasarga comes, that's the most common condition that you have with the compound. So simply speaking, when you get anything which is compounding with that tvanta formation, then the tva becomes lyap. And that sutram is in very, very, very important common sutram. Samase anyang purve kto lyap. Samase anyang purve kto lyap. You will see this many, many, many times. So when having done this, etc. But if it is a compound, you're not going to see the twa. The twa becomes this lyap, and the lyap becomes only ya. Halantyam dashakvatadite, only ya remains. So that you always remember 7137. So either if you see the twa, or the twa might become this ya. In either case, you have to understand that this is some karta doing 2 actions. So that's the structure of this sentence that they had, Now, one more thing interesting in this is the padacheda here is an interesting point. Is the padacheda is not like cast in stone. It's not black and white. So if you look at the talapatram, all the palm leaves, then there is no spaces over there. They put everything in one big smudge like that, Now that seems like, a little bit very confusing to the beginner because you don't know where to put the padacheda. So that is why in the books nowadays they put the spaces over there. So the editor helps you out by putting the, where he thinks the pada should end. But that is not something which is, undisputable. There might be different options available. This very first thing over here, te vanena vanang gatva. So te means Rama, Sita, Lakshmana, all of them. So Ramascha, Sita, Lakshmanascha. That is the te, means they. English. The English te is a te in Sanskritam is te, is English, it becomes they. Having gone from forest to forest, by forest to forest. But you could also say tevanena. Now tevanena would be the dhatu called tev. So tev becomes tevanam. Now actually literally the meaning of the dhatu tev is to sport or to, but you can make tevanam. Now what the commentator says is that tevanam is padacharaha, means walking by foot. So tena gatva. So having gone from, that's what the sampradaya meaning is that. Sampradaya meaning is saying tevanena means padacharena, means moving by foot. They went to the forest, vanangatva. But this commentator says is that you can also say te equals Sita Rama Lakshmanaha Vanena means purovarti prapta vanadvarena. Whichever one came in front of them, by that, means through that, they went to the next forest. Param, aparam vanam gatva. So gone to the next forest. So this can be taken as te, means Sita, Rama, Lakshmanaha. Vanena vanam gatva. Having gone to forest, through a forest. So by forest to forest. Or you can say te vanena as a single padam, and make it tevanam as padacharaha and padacharena. So having gone to the forest by foot. This is just goes to show you that this padacheda is not black and white. There are some options. I mean, most of the time there'll not be much of a choice. But once in a while, you'll have some very interesting options you will have, and you have to keep them in mind. And sometimes, of course, the poets might even play on that facility to give you different splits. As always, look at the commentaries, see what they have to say, see what makes sense, because all of them may not fit in the context. But here they're given both of them as te as a pruthak padam, means Sita, Rama, Lakshmanaha. Then vanena as a pruthak padam, tritiya ekvachanam, means through the forest. Vanam gatva, gone to the next forest. That is the thing. Or say te vanena means padacharena, having gone by foot to the forest, vanangatva. Okay, that's the two choices. Nadis, in fact, is one more here. I'm sorry, I missed this one. So we have gatva, then nadis tirtva. That's the second one here. Then comes anuprapya, then comes krutva, and then comes nyavasan, final verb. So you have one, gatva is the first one, tirtva is the second one, and anuprapya is the third one, and krutva is the fourth one. So you can string them all together. So even though this samana kartika yoho purva kale, so Panini says samana kartika yoho, it's a dual form. But a dvivachanam atantram, the dvivachanam is not vivakshitam. It is not necessary to have only two. We can have more. Okay, now nadi stirtva. Nadi, this is dvitiya bhuvachanam of nadi shabda. Nadi stirtva. Yes, I'm looking at those three commentaries of Ramayanam, correct. The question, somebody asked a question, yes. Okay, so now nadi stirtva. Now nadihi is just like we have vanam gatva, that vanam was dvitiya ekvachanam, having gone to the forest. Nadi stirtva also is a similar thing. Nadihi is a dvitiya bahuvachanam, and having crossed, dhatu is tiru. Tiru becomes tirtva. Without going through all the steps, this dhatu is tiru with a long ru. But this is a very common thing which is going to happen to these dhatus ending in long ru. I just want to quickly tell you what happens here. So you can look out for this sign and try to identify these dhatu. What happens is that the tiru has the pratyaya twa coming with there. Twa, tir twa. So this is what we start with, and we have to get to the form tir twa. Now, first of all, is dhatu tiru. It actually will be a set dhatu. It should take an idagama. Because anything ending in long ru, these dhatus are set dhatus. But we have no idagama over here. We have tir twa only we have, no idagama. Then what happened over there? The reason is that there's a special rule which says that anything which ends in an uk letter, the dhatu will not take the idagama with the pratyaya following is a kit pratyaya. Not to go into too much detail, but here the sutra is shukashkiti. Shukashkiti is the 7 to 11 says if you have a dhatu ending in a uk means what? Ayun ruk. So which is what we have. That does not take idagama. It's pratyaya following the kit pratyaya. By 7 to 11, the pratyaya was ktva. So by 7 to 11, no idagama. So that's one thing, 7 to 11. And then what happens is that there is no idagama. No idagama. And then what happens is that this through takes the e adesha, becomes e. So why am I going through all this step? Because you're going to see these steps very commonly for these dhatu ending in long ru. The point I'm trying to make is that whenever you see this long form ear coming here, this tir twa, this long ear coming in this middle of this formation, Krishna formation, then start suspecting that this could be a dhatu ending in long ru. That's what gives this formation. And Gita example, I just put it up for you. Famous verse in the Gita, Vasansi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. So jirnani, see this e over here, jirnani. Again, this long e followed by this repa ear. This is also dhatu jiru. The same steps that I'm going to tell you going to apply here also. Jirnani, jirnani, vasansi jirnani. So watch out for this ear thing coming over here. That will point you to a dhatu ending in long ru. Now, what are the two steps which take place? It's a two-step process. And first step is that this ru becomes e. The long ru becomes e by this sutram, which is the rute dhatoho. 71100. 71100. 71100. Rute dhatoho. So e dhatu ending in long ru. If it doesn't take guna, it will become e. Uran raparaha. So when uran raparaha, we're going to get tir. So tir twa is what we got. So when you apply 7 on 100, we get tir twa. And then when we go to the tripadi karyam, we're going to get the dirgha of the priori. So we get the first, we apply the rute dhatoho, become tir and twa. And after that, that is by 71100. And then after that, we're going to get the sutram halicha, which is tirtva. So these are the common sequence, which if you don't want the rules, just keep this in mind. That is, dhatus ending in long ru, if they survive the guna process, they will take these two sutras, rute dhatoho, and then halicha. So this tirtva. And that one I think is 8-2 around 77ish. That's the sutram. So I know Anuji know these sutras by heart. Very good. So 8-2, I think it's 8-2-77 halicha. So you won't go into much. I just put the numbers down. If you want to look them up on your own, you can read them up on that. Put 8-2-77. Okay, so that's what a tirtva is. A tirtva is like, the gerund form of dhatu tru. Tru is to cross. Tarati. Tarati means to cross. So what do we have? We have this Nadi tirtva bahudakaha. The bahudakaha is qualifying nadihi. So having crossed rivers which had a lot of water in them, it's a bahuvrihi compound. How do we know it's a bahuvrihi compound? Because the word udakam is a neuter pratipadikam. It will never become bahudakaha. Become udakani. So the fact that it has become udakaha means clearly tells you something has happened. It will change the gender of that word. And it has been made to qualify the nadi. And so we have bahu. So you can say bahu udakam yasam taha. So that those which have a lot of water. So it's clearly a bahuvrihi compound. It means those rivers which have a lot of water. And that whole thing is an object of tirtva. So far, what do we have? So either we take all three of them, te, sita, rama, lakshmanaha, vanena vanam gatva, having gone by forest to forest. Nadis tirtva bahudakaha, having crossed rivers which had plenty of water in them. Then comes one more clause, chitrakutam anuprapya Bharadwajasya Shasanat. Chitrakutam. This is a name of a mountain. Chitrakutam. This is also a compound actually. Chitra means variegated, can mean spotted, it can mean amazing, can mean wonderful, also mean like strange, like Vichitra. You can say Vichitra means strange. So Chitrakutam is a bahuvri also. So it means that, Chitrani Kutani Yasya. So when that which has wonderful mountain peaks, wonderful peaks. It was a region or a mountain which had wonderful peaks on that. So Chitrakutam. In this case it is a noun form which has become the name of that the region, the name of that mountain. So Chitrakutam anuprapya. Anuprapya here, what has happened, as I mentioned before, because of the upasarga anu being there, that twa has become lyap. So when you go into compound formation, that gerund form twa becomes lyap. Anuprapya means having reached. having reached a Chitrakuta mountain, Chitrakutam anuprapya. So what you really had was that you had anu plus we had anu plus para. We have upasarga, two of them actually. We have two of them. We have two upasargas now, and then ap. Dhatu is ap. Anu para plus ap, and then you actually had the pratyak twa coming there. Twa. And because of that, the upasargas being there, that twa became lyap, became a ya. You say lyap means halantyam lashakvatadite, only ya remains. So this whole thing became anu para ap plus became lyap, lyap. Anubandha lope only ya. So this is also a very, very common rule which you see all the time. The moment these upasargas come and go into compound, then you're going to get the twa changing to ya. So anuprapya means having reached, anuprapya. And then there's a clause now. Bharadvajasya shasanat. Bharadvajasya rishehe shasanat. Bharadvajasya is the Shashti Ekam, which you already saw the sutram in the earlier class, which is the ta nyasi nyasa minat syaha. I told you the sya ending. The moment you see the sya ending, you can almost certainly say this is going to be a Shashti Ekvachanam of the Adanta Pratipadikam Pullinge. So Bharadvajasya is of Bharadvaja, the Rishi. So Shashti means Sambandha. The moment you see a Shashti, make the Sambandha immediately. Don't leave it hanging around, because you can like join it up. You can link it to its noun, and then that way you can form that unit. So Bharadvajasya shasana, so shasanam. So now shasanat is the on the command or due to the command of Bharadvaja. This can be poetic heta upanchami. Due to the command of shasan dhatu shas. Shas is to rule, to also means to instruct. So shasanam is in this case instruction. So due to the instruction of Bharadvaja, so shasanat is like like vanat. They also same. We already thought with sutram last time. Ta nyasina sam inat syaha. The same. The at and the sya are both coming in here. So ta nyasina sam inat syaha. Sya came. The at came over here. Shasanat. So due to the instruction of Bharadvaja, they having reached the Chitrakuta mountain, and then Ramyam avasatan kritva. Ramyam is, rantum is a potential participle, fit to be delighted on, fit to delight, fit to be enjoyed, Ram is qualifying what? Avasatam. Avasatam means nivasasthanam. Also, I think they gave the commentary gives Paranashala. They made a residence for themselves, which is made of leaves. Paranashalam kritva. So having constructed this ramyam avasatam, delightful residence for themselves in the form of this house, thatched house made of leaves, I guess. Ramyam avasatam kritva. Dhatu is a plus was. This unadi pratyaya has been used to form avasatam. Unadi pratyayas are like the gray area of Ashtadhyayi, because Panini refers to them, he talks about them, but not in detail. They are an Ashtadhyayi appendix. They are an appendix to Ashtadhyayi. Appendix because they are not covered in detail by Panini, because they are, sometimes they have to stretch a lot of meanings. Because basically what they do is that they take a word like avasatam. They look at the meaning of that word. The meaning of that word means a residence, or where sometimes also might like a student's hostel where students stay. So they look at that meaning. Then they say, okay, now what dhatu could have been here by which this word could have come? And then they try to use an appropriate dhatu, and then you come up with a pratyaya which will make that form. And especially if you have few other words which form the same formation, they say, then this must be the formation of this word. So this avasatam, they have taken, dhatu clearly is was over here. But in this case, it's kind of straightforward. Because if the avasatam means a house, then the dhatu can only be was really over here. So avasatam, so this is the upasarga a, and then they use the pratyaya, the dhatu is vas, and the pratyaya is unadi pratyaya. So use it and make it the atha, the ending part is unadi pratyaya, and make it avasatam. So that is what has happened here. So this, if you look at it's in this, all this you can say in the Aptya dictionary says avas plus atash pratyaya unadi pratyaya. So avasatam. And avasatam means paranashalam nivasasthanam. So ramyam avasatam. So this is how you can increase your vocabulary by reading more and more and understand these more words. So ramyam avasatam krutva, again the same kru plus tva. This is anit dhatu, so no idagamaha. So having done, the saman karta for all these is that Sita, Rama, Lakshmana, all three of them. They are the single doer of all these actions. And then Ramamana Vanetrayaha. The three of them. Vane Ramamanaha. Ramamana is what's called a present participle. Present, like Yajamana, Vartamanaha. So you see it in this present participle you have two varieties, of course. Parasmapadam, Atmanepadam. Parasmapadam form will create these adjectives ending in the at, like pachat shabdaha, pachan, pachantav, pachantaha, and so on. Good example of actually, if you look at Bhagavad Gita, a very good string of present participle in Parasmapadam only. In chapter 5 of Gita is very nice couple of verses there, which give you a full string of these present participle, what's called Vartamani Kritantaha, which is ending in but in Parasmapada only. So that is in the beginning of chapter 5, I think maybe shloka like 6 or 7, something like that. Paschan, Shrinvan, Svishan, Jigran, Nashnan, Gachan, Sapan, Shvasan, Palapan, Visijan, Gundan, Mishan, Nimishan, Napi. So those are all going to be in the Parasmapadam. But here what we have is Atmanepadam. So this is number 8 and 9. This entire string over here, Pashyan, Shrinvan, Svishan, Jigran, Nashnan, Gachan, Sapan, Shvasan, Palapan, Visijan, Gundan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Napi. All that string is present participles, but in the Parasmapadam. The Atmanepada is going to be ending in ana, like Vartamana. And what happens is that when the pratyaya only is that ana, is shana, Chasmanini says. But if that is followed by an angam ending in short, it becomes mana. So you can word like kurvanaha. Kurvanaha will not become mana because the angam doesn't end in short a. But here we have the dhatu rama. So this is ramate. This is the first kind of dhatu ramate. So that because rama was there, ending in short a over here, the shanash got the muk agamaha. Sutra is ane muk. Simple sutram ane muk is that the shanash, the ana gets the muk agamaha if the angam ends in short a. That ane muk comes in 7.2. So when you see this form mana, we can start suspecting it's probably going to be a present participle in the Atmanepadam, and the angam must be ending in short a. That's why you got the muk agamaha, ane muk. So that becomes ramamanaha, means enjoying. Ramata means rama is to enjoy. So ramamanaha means enjoying. This is, see this 7 to 82, ane muk. 7 to, that's how the makara comes by ane muk. So maybe I'll put 7 to 82. So ramamanaha. Then of course we can always check out the change of the na into a nakaraha that we already saw today, that which all can intervene. So ramamanaha. If you want to do that also, it should be now a habit for you. Ramamanaha vanestrayaha. So that we can first put the number 7 to 82, and then also look at what is intervening here. So between the ramamanaha, so we have nimittam is ra. Between we have ma, a, ma, a. So either pavarga or the at pratyahara. So that's allowed to intervene. That's how we get the form ramamanaha. Means enjoying. The three of them were enjoying. One more thing to note is that if you look at that, okay, there are a couple of questions here. First of all, why doesn't it take guna? I guess I think in the tirtva, the guna was, I think she's asking about tirtva. The guna was not there because the pratyaya is kurs and it. That is why there is no guna. because when you have the pratyaya having ka or the kavarga panchama nga as an it, then there's no guna because of the kiniticha. That's 115. There's no guna. And sutram for the panchami in the hetu arte. See, all these. Somebody is asking me what this. Radha is asking what the panchami for the sutram for this panchami. In 2.3 we have all these rules about which vibhakti to use when. Or the only one para ashtadhyayi which vibhakti to use when is 2.3. And there actually tritiya is the main vibhakti to be used in hetau. So it is the sutra, I think is hetau itself. And here next one comes panchami. This is 24, 25 through 25. Vibhasha gune striyam. So it all these are the two sutras here. I think it's 2, 3, 25. Okay. Now and also why what is ana being added is being asked. That one is the Lata Shatrishana Chao Pratama Samadhikarane. So that one is in 3.1, sorry 3.2 here. Lata Shatrishana Chao. So the Shanach is this typo in this one. Should be Shatrishana Chao. It's not Shana Chao, but Shana Chao. Lata Shatrishana Chao Pratama Samadhikarane. That's how the Shanach comes. Okay. Anyway, so Ramamaranaha means that they were enjoying present participle. Ramamaranaha Vane Trayaha. Now this Trayaha is a masculine form, but there were 3 of them. Sita, Rama, Lakshmanaha. Then how come you got the masculine form? Because the default, you see, if you have masculine or feminine, then if you have a combination of them, then we get the masculine form for the group. If you have a neuter, the neuter dominates. So neuter, and even if you don't know what the gender is, then you use neuter. Because they say samanya napumsakam, samanya napumsakam. So if it's samanyam, you should use napumsakam. You say idam kim, what is this? If you don't know what this is, then you should say idam kim. So what is this? But if you know them, and if it's a group, and if it's only feminine, then of course feminine has to be used. Should become tisraha, not trayaha. And then if it's masculine and feminine combination as a group, then it should become masculine. If it's masculine, neuter, feminine, it becomes neuter. Of course, here neuter is not there, so we only have Rama, Sita, Sita, Rama, Lakshmana. It's going to become Trayaha, because it's going to be masculine form, because this is going to, because there are 2 masculine, 1 feminine, it becomes masculine. So Trayaha. They are the subject of all these actions. Then comes one more adjective for them. Deva Gandharva Sankashaha. Sankashaha. Kash is to shine. It's like Prakasha, you know the word Prakashaha. Sankasha means to resemble, to shine similar to something, means to look like, to resemble. So Sankasha means Sadrishaha. So Deva Gandharva Sankashaha. That's a compound word, and that Deva Gandharva is Dvandva compound there, Deva Gandharva. It's similar to them. So Deva Gandharva Sankashaha. So that is going to be finally going to be Tatpurusha compound. So Deva Gandharva Sankasha means resembling, looking like Devas and Gandharvas. Tatra te nyavasan sukham. Tatra means in Avyaya, it's a Saptami Artha Avyaya. Tatra means Chitrakute. In that place, te nyavasan sukham. Now what is sukham now? Sukham is going to be an adverb form. Sukham is an adverb. We have to be careful about it, because anyway the verb nyavasan is an akarmaka dhatu. It cannot take any object. So because they lived there, that living cannot take an object. So that sukham is not object of anything. It's what's called an adverb. So you have to watch out for these. That is neuters in the singular accusative case singular. They can function as adverbs. So means that they dwelt happily. Yavasan sukham. How about the word nyavasan? What's happening there? What's happening there is that you have the upasarga ni, and then is avasan. See, we talked about this adagamaha comes in 3 lakaras, which is lung, lang, shvadadattaha. Lung, lang, shvadadattaha. Lung, lang, shvadadattaha means in these 3 lakaras, lung, lang, and lung. This comes, adagama comes, and so this adagama will come right before the dhatu. The upasarga is pruthak padam. So unfortunately, sometimes you have to be able to pick it out inside there, because you have to speak it ni plus avasan. Yavasan is ni plus avasan. 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 So really, the dhatu, the tinganda padam is avasan only. When you add the upasarga ni, because the yant sandhi become nyavasan. So you should learn to pick out the adagamaha when it is coming. It is between the upasarga and the dhatu. That's the important thing over here. Nyavasan. In fact, let's take Bhagavad Gita example. Very first thing which Lord Krishna says, second chapter, is Ashochananva shochastam. Ashochananva shochastam is you have grieved for those who should not be grieved for. Ashochan anva shochastam. So you have grieved for those who should not be grieved, for those you have grieved. So anva shochaha. Same thing over there. We have anu, ashochaha, means you have grieved. That's also a past tense form. Let me see. I think that's chapter 2, number 11. Ashocyananvashochastam prajnavadanscha bhashase sagatasu nagatasu nanu shochanti panditaha. So that is the one in chapter 2, number 11, shlokaha. Because see this one, see here we have it. Anvashochaha is anu ashochaha. So this is the adagama in between the upasarga and the dhatu. So anvashochaha is also an example of the adagama. This is a good example for you in the Gita. You can go through and find out all the places where adagama is being used. Try to find them out and see which ones are. There's no, as I said to you, the lakara lung is very rare. It's not in Gita, and that has the sya in there if it comes in there. Remaining is only lung and lung, out of which lung is the more common form. But still, you can try to go through Gita and see if you can, whatever adagamas you can find, you can try to practice that. But this is one example of where it gets in between. It will always be before the dhatu. Upasarga will come after that. So then you have this. It will get like a sandwich in between. It will be sandwiched in between there. Anvashocha. Okay, so that is the end. The dhatu is vas, and if so, this is the first dhatu vasati. So what's happening here is that the ending is g, become vasanti, and then the quick steps for you is that when we had the dhatu, the ni was a pruthak padam, as we already said. Then we got the ad agamaha, and then the dhatu was vas, and the vas in the meanwhile gets the pratyaya g, which is because we're talking third person plural, and the g becomes joantaha. Pawnini calls g, it becomes anti. Joanti. So that's what happens, joanti. And then in the meanwhile you get the pratyaya shap in here, kartari shap. I'm just giving basic outline of this one. The shap becomes like that, shap plus g. And then after that, this ending e of anti drops, because if there's any lakara with this ka varga panchama as an it letter, the ending e drops. So it becomes ant. Then finally sanyogantasya lopaha. You cannot, in this language, you cannot have a padam ending in a sanyoga as a general rule. When that happens, the ending letter drops. Sanyogantasya lopaha. So we had what we had was we had ni plus va sant. This is what we had. So with sanyogantasya lopaha, that ending takara dropped, and we got the nyavasan. So the anti came, ending e dropped, and finally this sanyoganta was dropped. Sanyogantasya lopaha. Sanyogantasya lopaha again is a karim tripadi. It has to wait till everything else is done. Then only can apply sanyogantasya lopaha. It comes in 8.2, comes sanyogantasya lopaha. I think we got the meaning now. Let me see if we missed anything. So sanyogantasya lopaha, the number is here, 8-23. Sanyogantasya lopaha. Okay, so let's see what use 8-23. So we need to drop the ending ta. Okay. All right. So let us see if we can do a translation for us here. So Vasu has a question. Okay. Yes, Vasu.
Yeah. Ni plus avasan, nyavasan. You don't need to put the rule there, is it?
Eco-energy, right? I think everybody knows.
Eco-energy, yeah.
Eco-energy, good. Yes, eco-energy has to be used, correct. So 6-1, I'll put it there. 6-1-77. 6-1 by the Yen Sandhi, which I think all of you know by now. So then I'll put the final form here. Nyavasan. Nyavasan is by eco-energy 6-1-77. Okay. Let's see if we missed anything. Did we get the whole thing? 6-1-77. We have so te vanena vanangatva. So if we can take it like what Gita Press has it, we can keep it as te vanena. As okay, the one question about by which sutram does the E drop? Radha is asking. So the E drops by sutram itascha. Sutram by the E of that anti, that ending E drops by sutram itascha. I think that is 3-4-100. I think 3-4-100. I think the itascha sutram. That's what drops the ending E. Okay. We won't go in details. Just give you the number. Is 3-4-100. Itascha sutram. Itascha. Okay. All right. So this says that let's see who wants to translation. Balramji is here. Okay, he's ready for us. Okay. Adhikrita anuvada karaha. Anuvada. Okay. Balramji, ready?
Namaste, Ji.
Okay. So let's see. Going.
Gatva.
Gatva. Actually, it's having them. It's going also. It's fine. From forest.
Vanena.
Vanena. To forest.
Vanam.
Vanam. I think the and is understood here. Crossing.
Is it Tirtva?
Tirtva. Through is to cross. Tarati. Like when you pass the exam, what do you say? Uttirnaha. Means you pass. Uttirna means when you pass. Means you go across the exam. Uttirnaha. Tirnaha means crossed. You know. Okay. So crossing is Tirtva. Streams.
Nadi.
Nadihi. Nadihi. Bahuvachanam Ditya. Nadihi. Containing deep water.
Bahudakaha.
Bahudakaha. They.
Te.
They stay. And then they put in brackets here. Saw the sage Bharadwaja at Prayaga. Dismissing Guha there. That's all in brackets. Later on. Let's see. The word later on is here. It's probably understood. Okay, that's probably supplied by them. Reached. What's the word for reached? Anuprapya. Anuprapya means having reached really, having anuprap. Dhatu prap. Ap is to get, but prap is to kind of to get or to reach also. Anuprapya. So prap. Chitrakuta is what?
Chitrakutam.
Chitrakutam. According to the instructions.
Shasanat.
Shasanat. So according to instructions, Shasanat. Of Bharadwaja.
Bharadwajasya.
Bharadwajasya. I think the and is understood. Erecting.
Krutva.
Krutva means making, constructing, erecting. Lovely. What's lovely?
Samyam.
Ramyam. Cottage.
Avasatam.
Avasatam. Correct. The three. What is the word for three?
Trayaha.
Trayaha. Sojourned. Means they lived. That's a single word that we have, right? This Nyavasan. 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 Sojourn means they lived. So so Nyavasan. Happily.
Sukham.
Sukham. There.
Tatra.
Tatra. Tatra is here. Tatra. Sporting. Enjoying.
Ramamana.
Ramamanaha. Ramamana. Sporting. In the woods.
Vane.
Vane. Like gods and Gandharvas.
Deva Gandharvas.
Sankashaha.
Sankasha.
So Sankasha is the like, and gods and Gandharvas is Deva Gandharva.
Deva Gandharva.
So now you can do this much, even if you don't get all the grammar. This is a great start. If you keep on doing like this, you can keep on getting more and more and more understanding. Just a feel for the language, you know, how they write, how these clauses work, you know, how these dhatus, different kind of words. Like, you know, we had, thank you, we had the word avasatam, kind of a new word for us a little bit, So what else did we have in this? We had the te vanena. They didn't take that, by the way. In this translation, they took as te vanena, not te vanena. Te vanena means will by walking, by foot. That they didn't take the translation. Because, why they didn't take that? Because, as I told you, they follow the main commentators. And the main commentators already told us that it is his abhishtartha, his meaning is that vanena purovarti prapta vanadvarena, by the first forest which came on their way. Through that, aparam vanam gatva, they went to another vanam. Then he also says, te vanam is padacharaha, tena means padacharena, vanam gatva ityartha iti sampradayaha. So sampradaya prior to this commentator was saying there should be te vanena. But he is saying that it should be te vanena. So, and he is the most respected commentator, this Tilaka commentary which is there. So they have Gita Press is clearly following that, which is, so now you know how they make these choices, They give the commentator his due, unless they feel that, they have to do something else. Okay, so that could have been a new dhatu, teva. It's a very rare dhatu, teva. I think we got this through becoming long ear, so keep that in mind. That will be seen by you in many, many places, so ear, twa. And we talked about this twa, and the lyap coming here in sequence like that. There doesn't have to be only two actions. And we talked about this shanish pratyaya, present participle in the atmanepada. And this mukagama comes when the angam ends in short as ramamanaha. We talked about the word sankasha, dhatu kash is to sign, sankash is to resemble. You have to be very careful. There's a word called sakasha also. Sakasha means proximity or presence. Sankasha means resemblance. Sankasha. Okay. Let's see what Vastu. Yes, Vastu?
Satish ji.
Yeah.
You are referring to two commentators, right?
Yeah. One who gave the grammatical commentary about many of these twas coming in sequence back to back.
Yeah.
He is Govindaraja.
Oh, Govindaraja.
Govindaraja is, I think, South Indian commentator, and he tends to give more Pani Sutras. He tends to give more grammar commentary.
And the other one is?
Other one is Tilaka, and he is the kind of so-called the top commentator, so to speak. And then below also it's called Shiromani. Shiromani gives all detailed commentary of every word he gives. So Shiromani is more detailed. I think he also might be a little later one also possible.
And the style is typically like Malinatha?
Same. All commentaries follow the same style. Some of them are more detailed. Some of them are less detailed. Some of them have a different agenda, uddesha. Like when you say Bhashyakara, he's talking Vedanta only. Some will talking only about only about the Alankara. Some will talk only about the Vyakaranam. So they have different, but the basic structure is the same.
And these books are out of print. The only way
no, this one is available. This one there used to be two great presses back in Bombay, about 100 years ago, roughly speaking. One was Nirnay Sagar Press, and one was Gujarati Press. This was by Gujarati Press. It was the old Gujarati Press. Okay, and someone is putting a comment here. I put in Arsha Vidya. I think you can get that, by the way, apparently.
Oh, Arsha Vidya.
Apparently, I don't know if they have any more copies, but
and they have Govindaraja commentary or Shiromani?
No, all three are in one book.
All three in one book? Oh.
Yeah, so under each shloka you get all three commentators. Oh,
that is the entire Ramayana is available.
This is about I think 9 books.
Oh, okay.
So it has all like I think Balakandam, Sundarkandam, every Kandam I think has its own book kind of thing,
Oh, okay.
So this one is Ramayanam with the Tilaka Shiromani Bhushana Iti Tika Trayena Upaskritam. This is actually a very good book. It's a very well edited book. This is a photocopy now of the original Gujarati press. This is a photocopy by Parimal Publications. Parimal Publications. They have made a photocopy. But anyway, at least they've done that. At least they put the photocopy. But this original book, which is this is a copy of that. This is a very well edited book. When considering Ramayanam, it has very few typos. It has some, of course, some typos, but very few.
And it's all in Sanskrit, or you have
it's
Hindi
all
or
this,
English?
it is all Sanskritam only. No.
Oh, okay.
But it hopefully, as I said to you, as you get more confidence, you can look at, and if you look at individual words, you have to go through all 9 volumes. You can look at that section that you question about. What I'm saying. So, but yeah, it is worth. Please buy and keep this. Somebody might come in your family many years from now. He might thank you, because by that time it might be out of print by that time. See, this is the treasure of India.
Very reminiscent of Yata Karas Chandana Bharavahi. That's what I have been doing. I am surrounded by books which I never got to read them.
Okay, you'll learn them. You learn from those books. But I would say keep these books, because particularly the Sanskritam commentaries, which are the great treasure of our heritage, our heritage, which are really gathering dust. And I don't spend too much time, but they're all gathering dust in all the libraries. They're being thrown away. Nobody wants to read them. But the scholars have spent their whole life, or whatever, a great part to write these commentaries for us. And people are just treating them like dirt nowadays. They have no value. They're all going away into nobody, because everybody says, is it English or not? Like Vasu said to me just now, if it's in English, I want it. If it's not English, just, it's gathering dust. So anyway, if you get these good commentaries, please buy them, please keep them, because they are, invaluable, really invaluable. At least I like to read them. So, okay. And if you see, all the English translators get their basis from here only, If you look at the English books and all that, they only base themselves on the commentaries after all, okay? Including Gita Press also, which is not a bad thing. So if you go English, the basic work, original work you're missing. That's what we should get. And that's why we have the class. Hopefully you get more confidence to read more of these. Okay, so let's continue. So that's why they didn't take te vanena, they took te and vanena separately. So the next full stop, where's the next full stop? If you look down here, we got the Sri Rama proceeded to Chitrakuta, report who returned, and in Dasharatha ascended to heaven. I'll go to the next page now. Bewailing his son, stricken as he was grief. Okay, so what we have to take now is that, again, unfortunately, the sentence is ending in the middle of the shloka. What's happening is the sentence is ending in the middle of the shloka. So we have to take half of shlokas, So what we have to take is that Chitrakutam gate rame putra shoka turastada Raja Dasharatha Swargam Jagama Vilapan Sutam. So we will take the second half of 32 and first half of 33. Very straightforward formation here. Chitrakutam gate rame putra shoka turastada Raja Dasharatha Sargam Jagama Vilapan Sutam. Simple sentence is that Raja Jagama. So Raja, of course, you know what Rajan. Raja is Prathama Ekvachanam of the for Rajan. You will be careful. This is not like Sita or Lata. This is a Pratipadikam ending in Na. It's a masculine Pratipadikam. It's a Pullinga Pratipadikam. Is Rajan Shabdaha. Come Raja, Rajanau, Rajanaha, Rajanam, Rajanau. So Raja is Prathama Ekvachanam of the Pratipadikam Rajan. Rajan Pratipadikam become the Raja. Okay. So Raja Jagama. The verb is Jagama. Jagama. It's a lit form. How can you guess at the lit forms? Look at a couple of indicators for you. First of all, there's an abhyasa going on here. There's a duplication of the vowel of the dhatu. It became gum. And in the abhyasa, you can have a consonant staying in abhyasa. In the abhyasa, a consonant can stay only if it's the first member. These are simple abhyasa rules. If this is not a Vyakaranam class, but I would highly encourage you to learn these 4 or 5 rules, or at least in English if you don't want to do in Sanskritam, at least in English. Very simple, which will give you good bang for the buck. Very good bang for the buck you will get. And they come in what happens in the Abhyasa Bhaga. When this duplication takes place. In that duplicated, the Purva Abhyasa, so that is the Abhyasa which is left-hand side member. What happens to that duplicated part? This all comes in this section from 7.458 onwards. And there are really only 4 or 5 important rules. I'll tell you in English right now. Is that in Abhyasaha, Rasvaha. In the Abhyasa, a vowel becomes short. 7.459. Right now it doesn't apply because Dhatu is gum right now. So it only has one vowel which is a. It's already short. So that will have no effect on this one. Anyway, that rule is Rasvaha, 7459. In the Abhyasaha, vowel becomes short. Second one, Haladi Sheshaha, 7460. If there is a consonant in Abhyasa, it can only survive if it is the first member. So if the consonant is the beginning, it can survive. Otherwise it goes in. Here we have dhatu gam. The ma is not in the beginning. The beginning is only ga. So by this rule 7460, haladi sheshaha is that ma goes away. Okay. Then 7462 says the ka varga and the hakara becomes cha varga in Abhyasa. So we had the dhatu gam, the ma went away, and this says the ka varga becomes cha varga. So by the ga we got ja. So these are 2-3 simple rules which can hopefully try to remember, and they have variety of application because Abhyasa takes place not only in lit, it takes place also in the third gana dhatus, takes place in the frequentative, takes place in the desiderative forms, takes place in some forms of lung lakaraha. In all those places, you can just quickly apply the Abhyasa rules. Just try to check out what, because if you suspect the dhatu is gum, you should be able to confirm for yourself, Abhyasa will be ja. And then you can make some educated guesses, without knowing all the rules. At least you can start making, attacking the problem. So please remember these 3-4 rules. One is Rasvaha. In Abhyasa, vowel becomes short. Then Haladi Sheshaha. In Abhyasa, vowel, if there is a consonant, it can only stay if it's the first member. Then Kuhoshchuhu, the ka varga and the hakara becomes cha varga. That's number 4. And last one is Urat. If you have a r, it becomes a basically, Urat. Okay, that's only these 4 only. That's it. Okay, so that's because otherwise if you don't know where this ja came from, you kind of lost, So if you just know in the back of your mind in the Abhyasa, the ka varga becomes cha varga, then you can take a good guess at this, where this ja came from, jagama. And finally, what happens in the lit lakaraha, the ending stip, first of all, lit is only third person. That's the good news. Paroksha lit. So you only have to worry about third person only in lit. 99% of the time, lit is only third person. In Gita, we do have one place Arjuna just say, but that's a very rare usage. So that makes it easy. If it's not third person, it is not lit. For the most part, it is not lit. So that makes your life easy. So here we have Raja Jagama. This is third person because the king went is third person. He went. Now the other thing is that in the Parasnipadam, the ending stip tasji, in a singular, dual, plural, they get substitute. They take an outright substitution. They have an outright substitution of null atus null atus us. I'm sorry, null atus us by 3482. The entire tip. The problem with this jagama is that normally we're used to seeing the ti at the end, like gachati, like bhajati, pujayati. But there's no ti over here. It's jagama, only is there at the end, like the Dhritarashtra uvacha form. So there's only that that's the confusing part. We may not recognize as a tingantapadam right away. But if you know this one rule that in the lit lakaraha, that tip dasji becomes null atus us. So remember that much, and if you can see this, if you can confirm the ending is there, the ending is there over here, then okay. And then of course there's a sutra which makes this one, the upada becomes dirgha because of no as an it. That's fine, even if you don't know that, doesn't matter. This sutra is atopadaya 72116. Even if you don't know that, if you got the ending, if you got the abhyasaha, you got the meaning. The meaning you got. Lit lakara, dhatu gam, third person singular, parasnepadi. So jagama means he went. That's what it means. So what happens is that the tip tasji, the singular dual plural, becomes yathasankham. It becomes the null atus us. Null means anubandha lope atus and us. That is, I think, 3482. Remember these 3 endings, null atus us means basically atus and us. So that is what and very first thing, Dhritarashtra uvacha, when we do in Gita, that uvacha, that ending is akara. That is because lit lakara, this is parasnepadanam, nalatus us, thalatus nalvamaha. Let's put this in the document. In the lit, in parasnepadam lit, in parasnepadam. So lit, we talk about lit lakaraha. and we're talking about the Parasmapadam. In Parasmapadam, Parasmapadam, then remember these three, and it will pay a lot of dividends for you. Parasmapadam. We have the affixes are, and this is again only third person we have to worry about. So the three affixes are null, atus, us. Null means when you remove the markers, we have only a. So a, and then atus. Of course, the dual is much less common, and then us ending. Us comes in Gita also, chapter 1. Shankhan dadmuh prutak prutaka. Shankhan dadmuh prutak prutak. Shankhan dadmuh dadmus. And also that us is there in the very first chapter. In the first chapter of Gita, you have all three usages. You have the dadmuh, when Bhishma blows his conch. Then when the Lord and Arjuna both, it becomes dadmatuhu. Dadmatuhu. The dual form is there also in the first chapter of the Gita. And you also have dadmuhu. So these three are in the Gita. And of course, you have the Arjuna. So actually, in the very first chapter of Gita, you can get all of these. The very first chapter of Gita, you can look at all of these, because in the first chapter itself, the very beginning, you start with Arjuna, with Dhritarashtra Uvacha. This is the Pratyaya null right here, Uvacha. You got one of them, like Jagama we have right now, Uvacha. Then comes Dadmatuhu. So Dadmatuhu means when Sri Krishna and Arjuna blow their conches, the two of them blow their conches, you get the form Dadmatuhu. And then you get the form Dadmuhu. See here. So Dadmatuhu comes here. This is ending Atus, Dadmatuhu. And that is, then you get Dadmuhu coming down here. So anyway, just to give you, Dadmuhu is coming in. 1.18 is Dadmuhu. And 1.14 is Dadmatuhu. So I can put, maybe put in the document, Gita is 1.14 in Gita. So very, very, very useful, very useful. Just keep simple rules that you can use immediately, and start making educated guesses at what the form might be, and Gita 1.18. 1.18. Of course, the first one is right in the beginning, the Dhritarashtra Uvacha, that you know. Okay, so that we got the form. Attack the verb first if we can. Jagama means he went. Jagama. Now, Raja Jagama. Dasharatha, of course, is the name of the Raja. Dasharatha Raja Jagama. And then says Swargam Jagama. Very easy. He went to heaven. Swargam. Swargaha is Swargam. Object of Jagama is Swargam. Swargam Jagama. The moment you have a Dvitiya Vibhakti, it doesn't have independent existence. It's going to depend on something else. Most of the time, it's going to be either a verb or a participle. So when you see the word Swargam, immediately make the connection to Jagama. Connect to Dvitiya. Dvitiya is Swatantram Nasti. Dvitiyaha Swatantram Nasti. So, Anyat Padam Ashrayati. So, it has to take the Tingantam Padam Athva Kridantam Padam Prayana. For the most part, it will rest on a verb form or a participle form. Okay, so we got that one. Now, Vilapan Sutam. You remember we saw this present participles in the last look I pointed to in the Gita of this chapter 5. Pashyan, Shunvan, Spushan, Jigran, Nashnan, Gachan, Sapan, Shwasan, Palapan, Visijan, Gundan, Mishan, Nimishan, Napi. Vilapan is like that. Vilapan. Dhatu Lap. So Dhatu Lap becomes Vilapan. That's the present part. Without going through all the rules, the same sutram which we had, which I told last time, because this is Parasmapadi. We had Ramamana back here. Ramamana we had back here as in the Atmanepadam. This becomes Vilapat Pradipadikam. This declined like Vilapan, Vilapanto, Vilapantaha, Vilapantam, So Vilapan is the Prathama Ekavachanam in Pullinge of the Pradipadikam Vilapat. Dhatu is Lap. Pratyay Shatru becomes, and then the Shap in between there, Vilapat become Vilapan. So Vilapan means lamenting. And that takes object Vilapan Sutam. So lamenting his son, the king Dasharatha went to heaven. Now comes interesting contrast back here. Chitrakutam Gate Rame. So Gate Rame means that's a Saptami usage, Normally when we say Saptami, we have the sense of in that or on that. This is a special Saptami, which means that on that happening. It comes in English also, right? When you say on seeing him, I left. on his departure, on his death. So on his death means that something else is happening. So it indicates another action. So what's called as a Sati Saptami in this language, which means that that is a Saptami which indicates the sequence of another action. So we say, so Rame Gate. So on Rama's departure, Dasharatha went to heaven. So that Rame Gate, generally you have a noun and a participle in agreement with the noun, Samadhikarane, which will both be in Saptami. Both be in Saptami. So Rame Gate, Raja, Sargam Jagama. So that is what the construction. We have to, when you see two events happening like that, the prior event will be in that Saptami Bhakti. And that is called Sati Saptami. So get used to that, particularly if you see this in noun and a participle, Samadhikaranam, both taking Saptami like that. Then you start looking for the Sati Saptami, which gives you the sequence of some other action, the event of some other action. Okay, so that is what is happening. Then quick Gita examples we just actually saw this morning in the class is this Pravritte Shastra Sampati Dhanuruddhamya Pandavaha. Pravritte Shastra Sampati Dhanuruddhamya Pandavaha. So in the very first adhyaya, there are two good examples of Sati Saptami in the Gita. In the first chapter itself, there are two good examples of Sati Saptami, and one is the Pravritte Shastra Sampate Pravritte Shastra Sampate Dhanuruddhamya Pandavaha. So on the commencement of the downpour of weapons, Arjuna said the following. So Pravritte Shastra Sampate Dhanuruddhamya Pandavaha Rishikesham Tada Vakyam Aha. So when the downpour, Shastra Sampata, means like the coming down of weapons, when that had commenced, Pravritte, then Pandavaha Vakyam Aha. He then said the following words to Sri Krishna. So this is the Saptami which I'm talking about. Pravritte Shastra Sampate. Again the same thing. The Shastra Sampataha is the noun. Like Rame Gate we have read. Rame Gate. This is Rama is the noun. Gate is the participle. Same thing here. We have the Pravritte is the participle, and Shastra Sampate is the noun. So when that had started, and then Arjuna has said something. This is number one example in Gita. Second example is going to be in the, so maybe I can put like, okay, I'll put in the document maybe. So Rame Gate, Sati Saptami, this is technical Sati Saptami. Sati Saptami, so Rame Gate, if you want to put it here, Rame Gate, Sati Saptami, Rame Gate, Sati Saptami, what is called as Sati. Sati means on that happening, on that Sati. Sati also is Saptami of the present part of Dhatu As, so it's called Sati Saptami. Saptami. And that's Gita examples, examples in Gita in chapter 1. This one I just told you. This one is chapter 1, number 20. Chapter 1, number 20. So 1.20. And also it comes in the same chapter again. Strishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. Strishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. Strishu dushtasu is when the women are corrupted. Strishu dushtasu varshneya jayate varna sankaraha. And varna sankara occurs. So this, when this happens, then that happens. One more thing to remember here is that should not be samana karta. You have to use the twa pratyaya. You already saw that, right? Twa, which is saw, because there was samana karta, same person doing two actions. So here we had, gatva, krutva, anuprapya, nyavasan, because these are the same people doing all these actions. What is happening here? Rame Gate, on Rama's departure, Raja Jagama, the king went to heaven. So the different karta, when you use Sati Saptami, it has to be, it cannot be samana karta there. With different people doing, so when A does B, C does some other action, C does D, something like that. So, okay, so then the second example from Gita, I'll just put the numbers there, we can move on. Is a Strishu Dushtasu Varshneya Jayate Varna Sankaraha. Strishu Dushtasu. So, Strishu Dushtasu Varshne. Yes, a little bit later on. Sankaro Narakayaiva Kulagnanam Kulascha. Here it is, number 41. Strishu Dushtasu. This is the Saptami. On the woman getting corrupted, then something else happens. Okay, so just put this number is the 1.41. 1.41. Okay, so that is the special usage of the Saptami. If you see there are two people doing two actions, then the prior action is going to take this Sati when that action is completed. Okay, so we see more of that. So Gate Rame Gate. Chitrakutam is object of the Gate. So Rame Chitrakutam Gate. So on Rama, reaching or going to, having gone to Chitrakuta, and then Tada means then, this means Tasmin Kale, Tada. And Putra Shoka Aturaha, Putra Shokena Aturaha, Putrasya Shokaha. So Shoka is Dhatu, Shuch becomes Shokaha. Shuch has two meanings, by the way. Shuch means to grieve, also means to be clean. Shuchihi Shaucham. So there's two different meanings. The one we saw in the Gita before, which we saw, chapter 2, number 11, Ashochan Anvashochastam. Ashochan Anvashochastam. That means to grieve, Okay. Putra Shoka and Aturaha. Atura is an adjective form. It is a new meaning. Aturaha. Aturaha means it is such a strange word. Sri Apte gives it as the A is there, Dhatu At and Urach. So Aturaha is one who is afflicted by something. Dhatu At is, I think to go. Atati is to go. So that is what Aturaha is an adjective. It's also Unadi Pratyaya. So all Unadi means you take it a pinch of salt. Okay, when we say Unadi, that means that they are looking at the word Aturaha and they are going to figure out some way to make sense of it. They're putting some dhatu in between and try to make sense of it. So the best dhatu that they could find in this case is a dhatu at, and they use that, and then they're going to use that dhatu at and try to make sense out of it. So that they found the word made the form atu. The pratyaya, they come up with the pratyaya urach, and then make just confirming this dhatu at. Dhatu is, let me see what Apte given the meaning of dhatu at. I think the dhatu atati, atati means gacchati. Dhatu at means to go. So I guess one who is slightly disturbed, one who goes around a little bit here and there, so he is disturbed. So urash pratyaya. So atura is qualifying Dasharataha. So I think we got the meaning now. Is on Rama's reaching Chitrakuta. Dasharataha, who was afflicted, was disturbed on account of the grief, on account of his son, of losing his son, I guess. So, Putra Viyoga Shoka, I guess. Yes. Ravi?
Satishji, the dhatu is ata satatyagamane.
Satatyagamane, thank you. Means to constantly move around. Satatyagamane, yes. Thank you. Atati. Like Padati. Padati, I think, is a foot soldier, So I think all these words come from this. Ata satatyagamane, thank you. From dhatu part, means to constantly move around, so get to be disturbed. So Raja Dasharataha, Sutam Vilapan means lamenting the loss of his son, he went to heaven. Jagama. Okay, let's try the translation. Let's see what Balaramji can do for us. Let's see. I may have to, let's see. Okay. Shri Rama having proceeded. What do you want to do that?
Gate Rame.
Gate Rame. To Chitrakuta.
Chitrakutam.
Chitrakutam. On foot as reported by charioteer. Since returned to her. That's fine. Emperor.
Raja.
Dasharataha.
Dasharataha.
Okay. Forthwith.
I'm sorry?
Forthwith means then.
Okay.
That is tada.
That's understood. Okay.
Tada. Forthwith means then. Tada. Means immediately after that. Tada.
Okay.
Ascended.
Jagama.
Jagama. to heaven.
Swargam.
Sorry, it means went to heaven, but this one ascended to heaven is fine. This is Rama. Okay, let me try to see if I can stagger these people now and see if I can bring the other down. Okay, and let's see, ascended to heaven. It says bewailing. Okay, bewailing. What do you want to take?
Shoka.
No, bewailing. The present participle. Vilapan.
Is it Vilapan?
Vilapan. Vilapan. Bewailing.
Okay.
His son.
Putra.
Sutam. Sutam.
Oh, okay.
His son is Sutam, because Putra is in the compound, you see. So that way we'll take it later. Stricken as he was with grief.
Grief is Shoka.
Shoka.
Stricken, yeah, stricken maybe that.
Atura. That's a new word for you. Atura. Atura is stricken, afflicted, disturbed. So Shoka Atura. At the separation from the latter, from his son.
That Shoka, that At is for separation.
No, it is this only Putra.
Okay.
Putra Viyoga Shoka. They put the separation in between here, you know.
Oh.
Because the Putra Shoka means what? Putra Viyoga. So that Viyoga, I think it's coming from the commentary. If you look at the commentary, I'm sure you can find this word in the commentary.
Okay.
So the stricken is the Aturaha.
Okay.
And with grief is Shoka. And the latter means the son, Putra is there. This separation they have supplied in between. Putra Viyoga Shokaha. Putrasya Viyogena Shokaha. So now this is this Shaka Parthiva. You could supply something in between, you know, to make some sense of that. So let's go to the commentator and see if we can quickly see what he says. Putra Shoka. Putra Shoka Aturaha Anirvachya Putra Viyoga Janya Shoka Piditaha. The commentary says is that Putra Shoka Aturaha equals Anirvachya means unspeakable. Anirvachya Putra Viyoga means, you know, separation from the son. Janya means born from that. Shoka Piditaha. So he was afflicted with the grief born from arising out of the separation from his son and the grief which was unspeakable grief. Anirvachya Putra Viyoga Janya Shoka Piditaha. In the bottom line is that separation is coming from the commentary, by the Viyoga in the commentary, not from the shloka here. So that should really be in brackets really. That should not be here, but that's kind of understood, you know. That's what this word separation came from the commentary. It's understood. That's what it is. Okay, thank you. Maybe we can do one more sentence. What's the next sentence ending is? Though being urged to accept the throne headed by on the king who departed, did not covet. Okay, let's take that much part. So I think what they're taking is that they're taking it from this one. It is Gate tu tasmin bharataha. Again Sri Saptami. One more Sri Saptami. Gate tu tasmin means Rame. Tasmin Rame gate. So on Rama's departure, on Rama having gone, Bharataha Vasishta Pramukhay Dvijayihi Niyujyamano Rajyaya Naichad Rajyam Mahabalaha. That's the next sentence. How do I understand the next sentence? Because Tingantam Padam is Aichat. That is the verb. Until we hit the verb, we got to keep on going to make sense of it. So Gate tu tasmin Bharata. Simple sentence is Bharataha na Aichat. Bharataha na Aichat. Bharata did not want. He did not desire. And Rajyam. So Bharata did not want the kingdom. It's a simple sentence, okay, simple sentence. Now what's this from Aichat? Aichat, where are we getting this from? Aichat from? What is the I coming from? So we talked about the Adagamaha. Lung lang lung shuradattaha. Lung lang lung shuradattaha. In these three lakaras, we get the Adagamaha in these three lakaras. So lung lang lung shu ad udattaha. But then what it says that the dhatu here is what? Dhatu is ish. Let's very quickly do this one. Like ichhati. Ish becomes ichhati. Dhatu ish is, I think, the sixth kind of dhatu. It becomes ish. Dhatu is ish. And that normally will give the lat lakar will give the form ichhati. lut form is ichhati. Ichhati is the lut form. Ish is the root, is the dhatu, and we get the form ichhati, and the present tense form is ichhati. 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 Now, how did the ish becomes ichha? There's a sutram for that. These three dhatus: ishu, yami, gamam, chaha. Ishu, yami, gamam. So dhatu ish becomes ichhati, yam becomes yachhati, and gam becomes gachhati. These three dhatus. So it becomes cha. You get the tuk agamaha, stoshchunashchuhu. I'm going too fast. I'm trying to skip some steps because this is not Vyakarnam class. I'll give you the sutra quickly. The main sutram here is ishu, yami, gamam, chaha. I think 7.3, around 76, 70, 78 maybe. In 7.3, Panini is saying that when these dhatus are followed by pratyaya which has talavya shas and it, in that case, they change their ending letter to the murdhanya shakaraha. It is here, 7.3.77, ishu, gami, yamam, chaha. So dhatu ish, gam, and yam, they take the chaha means alontyasya. The ending letter becomes cha because icha. And then when that happens, you get the tuk agamaha, checha. So the 7377 comes first. You get the tuk agamaha, which is, if you want, you can look it up on your own, the details of this. But you get the tuk agamaha by the 61, I think 73 checha. Checha tuk agamaha. Just put these numbers down. And then, of course, you know the sutram stosh chunashchuhu. I think all of you know that now. Stosh chunashchuhu. Put these numbers here. You can look up, work out the details on 7377, 6173, and then the ta becoming cha is stosh chunashchuhu 8440. Okay, but before that, what we should have done is that we should have taken this one and make it into, I'll put in brackets here. We have to take the dhatu ish was there. It was it's in the sixth kana dhatu, gana vikaranam sha. Because the sha came, it brought this change of, because this the sutram 7377 requires a pratyaya which is talavya shas and it to follow. So until the sha comes, you cannot make the ish. Like a word like ishti. In ishti didn't become icha, because there is no talavya shas and it following there. This is shiti pare. So because when you conjugate this verb and put the tip comes in there, this is the gana vikaranam is a sha. Of the sixth gana vikaranam is sha. When that comes, ish becomes icha. Then you get a tuk agamaha and stoshchunashchu become icha, ichhati. So that's a sequence of events. It's a sequence of events. So the sutram is ishu, yami, gamam, chaha. Now what do we have? We have aichat. Now what's happening over there? Well, these steps are also happening there, but what is happening? The vriddhi is happening. That first wall is taken a vriddhi. Now how did the vriddhi come there? Because this is adajadi. Now, sutram which you use all the time about the adagamaha, there's a sutram right after that, which says that if it is the ajadi dhatu, which is what we have, you get the adagamaha. And then atashya vriddhi. The pura parayo adhikara, which you've seen many times, eka pura parayoho, vriddhi rechi, we saw many times vriddhi rechi. In that, there's one sutram, it says atashya vriddhi. When this adagama comes, then that forms a vriddhi substitute, an eka desha, with the following vowels. This art is always, I'm going to put the art and just keep the ichhati. We already did those steps for that. Ichha, and then itashcha, same sutram itashcha, which we did before we did that. So that ending e drops by 3 for 100. So you can get this ending e drops by 3 for 100. So aichat, ending e, because as we saw before, the sutram itashcha, which says that this lakara, which has this kakagagana as an it, the ending e of that drops by itashcha, so becomes ichhati. Now art agama came by this sutram adajadina. So if you see this beginning vriddhi there like that, you suspect this adajadina. So this when it is ajadi dhatu, doesn't take adagama, it takes an ad agama. in those same three lakaras, the lung, lung, and lung, the dhatu is ajadi. It will not take ad, it will take ad agamaha by the 6, 4, 70, 72, ad ajadi now. So 6, 4, 72, you got the ad agamaha, 6, 4, 72, and also I put 6, 4, 72 over here, and then ending E drops by this one, ending E drops by this one. And what happens is between this art and the ichchati, you get the vriddhi eka. Because normally you should have had the ad gunaha. Between a and you should have ad gunaha. So now because after the ta is an it by halantyam, again adyanto takito, the agama went to the beginning. But between a and e, normally you should have had ad gunaha. It should become echchati, not aichat. So it become aichat. So there what we need is this sutram which says atascha. Purva prayoha ekadesha. The moment this adagama comes, it combines with the following vowel to make a vriddhi ekadesha. Atascha vriddhi. Atascha. Sutra is atascha only sutra. It's below vriddhi rechi. Vriddhi rechi is what 6188. This one will be something below that. So atascha is 6190. Atascha vriddhi. So that's those steps over here. And I went a little bit fast. But so 6472 gets the adagamaha, and then the 6190 is the vriddhi between the a plus e takes vriddhi. Then the ending e drops as before by the itascha sutram. So that was the steps for aichat. So that is the verb. Verb in this sentence means no aichat. He did not desire. Of course, when you add a no to that, then vriddhi rechi again. See, now what you do is that, because then he did not desire. So we have no aichat. So then we have to finally make it vriddhi rechi between no and a is vriddhi rechi, become naichat. So this can go back to becomes naichat. So coming back to this one, says so bharataha no aichat. So, and now he has a couple of adjectives. His first adjective, niyujyamanaha. Look at the mana ending again. This is a passive form. Now all passives in this language are atmanipadam. If you have a passive form, they can only take atmanipadam endings. Because sutram bhavakarmanoho 1.3.13, and that sutram really has no exceptions to it. So any passive form, if you think it's passive, it should be an atmanipadam ending. If it's not atmanipadam ending, it's not passive. So that's almost like an inviolable condition. Is if you think something is atmanipadam, if you think something is passive, it must have an atmanipadam ending. Not vice versa, not vice versa. Like ramate, dhatus can have an atmanipadam ending in the active also, but all passives have to have atmanipadam endings, not vice versa. Because there might be some atmanipadam which are active also, but if it's passive, it should have atmanipadam endings. So niyujyamana, the same like ramamana we saw earlier, ramamana, same thing here. Niyujyamana is the same formation, niyujyamana. Dhatu is yuj. Yuj is to join, like yoga, yuj is joining. Niyuj is to appoint. Niyuj is to appoint. Niyujyamana means being appointed. This ya is a passive marker, yak, niyujyamana. So means he is qualifying Bharataha. So Bharata, who was being appointed, was being entrusted, appointed. Rajyaya. Rajyam praptum. So Rajya is, tadarthya chaturthi. Tadarthya means for the sake of that. So for the kingdom, for the sake of the kingdom, who was being appointed for the sake of the kingdom. Naichad Rajyam. He didn't want the kingdom. Mahabalaha, of course, Bahuvrihi. Mahad balam yasya saha. So Bharataha who was very mighty, who was being appointed, Nagaraj is a question. Let's see. Yes, Nagaraj.
This Naichad from Naichad, Aichat, is it because it's third da? Is it same thing that we were talking before? It is not the same.
This is ending the over here. You mean the the coming over here?
Right.
Jalam Jashwante, the the became.
Oh, Jalam. Okay. Oh,
correct. I forgot. The Sandhi rule. That's correct. What is so Naichat we had covered that, And then this Naichadi Jalam Jashwante, which we saw that the ending Jal becomes a Jastar. Correct, I missed that one. So Naichad, correct. So, and then one more thing is coming, is that Vasishtha Pramukhai Dvijayihi. Because it's a passive form. See, Niyujyamanaha. So Bharata was being appointed by whom? By Dvijayihi, by the Brahmanas, Dvijayihi. And Vasishtha Pramukhaihi. So that is a Bahuvrihi. So Vasishthaha, Pramukhaha, Yesham Te. So they were Brahmanas whose leader was Vasishthaha. So Bharataha, who was being appointed to the kingdom, like say to the kingdom, appointed to the kingdom, by the priests, headed by Vasishthaha, did not desire the kingdom, even though he was very powerful. And before that, Gate Tasmin. So on Sri Rama's departure, Tasmin means Rame. Tasmin means Rame. I'm sorry, no. Tasmin is Dasharatha. I take it back. Because the connection is with Dasharatha. So Gate means on Dasharatha is going to heaven, basically on his death. So Gate means Gate, because Tasmin is a pronoun. As always, we have to be very careful. If you see any pronoun or adjective, better be clear in your mind. What's the noun behind it? Tasmin, we want a masculine or neuter noun. It's clearly going to be Dasharatha. Look at the prior connection here. Dasharatha Sargam Jagama. Then Gate to Tasmin means Dasharathe Gate. Sargam Gate is what is. Tasmin is Dasharathe, not Rame. Yes, Narayana.
I was thinking Dasharatha Gate. We should not be Dasharathe Gate as you mentioned.
Because Tasmin, we want a Saptami of that. We want Saptami because Gate, like Rame Gate we had, right?
I understand that. Why not Dasharathe Gate?
That's what that is the Dasharathe Gate.
But it's Dasharatha it says in the text.
No, that was in the prior sentence.
Oh.
Dasharatha Jagama.
Oh, you are assuming that now that in place of Tasmin. Okay.
And this one comes connect with Tasmin now.
Okay.
Make it Dasharatha.
Dasharatha is coming in place of Tasmin.
You got it, yes. So that's this is what is behind the Tasmin is Dasharatha.
Okay.
So we have to thank you. So so here he was a subject of Jagama. So he's Prathama over here. But now he came and he is the one Tasmin, Dasharathe Gate. And you can notice this two, by the way. This two is coming in like little bit one more later than English. In English, you had the beginning of the sentence, you had two. Two means then or but. It's like a connector, It's a connecting word. In the Sanskritam, it comes one word later. It can also come one phrase later. So Gate tu, not tu Gate. You never start the beginning of the sentence with like cha, va, tu, So Gate tu. So that's also very, very stylistic. No sutram for that. But always put the connecting word. It comes one word later, sometimes one phrase or one clause later. Never at the beginning of the sentence. You will never say tu Gate. In English, you'll always say that but on his departure, So, okay, so Gate is Dasmin is Dasharathe, Bharataha, Vasishtha Pramukhaihi Dvijayihi Niyujyamanaha, being appointed by the priest, headed by the Vasishtha, to the kingdom, did not desire the kingdom, even though he was very powerful. Let's bring on our time is kind of up. So let's see. So we got some nice Sati Saptamis today. We got one Gate Rame we got here. Then Gate Dasharathe we got another one over here. So we got two of them, Sati Saptamis today. And practice those. You ready, Balramji? You ready?
Yes, Ji.
Okay, let us see. This is the final one for the day for you. Let's see. Let me try to stack these up. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Though being urged.
Niyujyamano.
Being appointed. I think that though might be two. It might be the two over here. It might be the two. Two might be though. Though. So being urged is being appointed, being niyujyamana. Urged to accept the throne.
Throne is Rajyaya. Accept.
Same thing. Accept the throne is Rajyaya only. The Chaturthi meaning is there, for the throne. So urge to accept the. I think what we do like this. This one urge to accept is niyujyamana. Means appointed. Means urge to
Right.
accept. I think we take niyujyamana, urge to accept. Means appointed. The throne is Rajyaya. By the Brahmanas.
Dvijaihi.
Vijayhi. Headed by Vasishtha.
Headed is Pramukhai, Vasishtha.
So then Vasishtha Pramukhai is Bahuvari compound. Vasishtha Pramukha Yesham. Vasishtha Pramukhaihi. The family priest of the preceptor. Okay. On the king is what?
Tasmin.
Tasmin Dasharathe means Dasharathe. Dasmin, correct. Having departed.
Gate.
Kate. Bharataha is
Bharato.
Bharataha. Who was very powerful.
Mahabalaha.
Mahabalaha. Did not covet. I'm sorry, I lost the other page. 1 second. Did not covet.
Naichat.
Naichat. The throne. Last one.
Rajyam.
Rajyam. Rajyam. Did not covet the throne. Okay. So good. So time is up. So keep on practicing like this. Any now we already, because this one has only 100 shlokas, by the way. We already 1/3 of the way is done for us. Today we are on shloka number 33, 34 starting. Exactly 1/3 of the way we are done with this. This is a very good, upakyanam. We have 100 shlokas only, the whole Ramayanam story. Good amount of grammar, good vocabulary, some interesting words that we have. We had the word tevanena we had today, aturaha we had today, few words. So hopefully this also is pretty nice one to memorize. 100 shlokas. I put the recording. I think all of you got the recording of this. Listen to the recording, and hopefully, and the idea is that listen to the recording, the meaning should come to your mind, and eventually, even as you listen to the recording, you should get the sutras in your mind after some practice, at least the easy ones. So anyway, so next time we'll start from the second half of 34. If you can do it at home on your own, also we can. That will be very good. You can also, if you want, you can post any question that you have. Maybe let you know we only do like 2-3 shlokas every class. Maybe three at the most 4 shlokas we do in the class. So if you can read up to maybe 37 here, 37 at the most 38, 38, and you can try to do the same thing on your own at home. See which one you're able to connect. And if you're not able to connect, post a question. Maybe we can reply to you also. Okay. So I'll stay back for questions. We'll do the Mangalacharanam. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Vijay Ramena Vyata Nishachara Chamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha Rama Nasti Parayanam Parataram Ramascha Dasosmyaham Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhutame Bhurama Mamuddhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasanama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Onnamaiti. Any questions? I'll stay back. Otherwise, Shubha Sayam.